Hello, my name is Karen Shields Smith, and I am a photojournalist, and I have the privilege of being able to preserve the legacy of L. Clifford Davis, who is a prominent judge in the area. And I have been chronicling his life story for the last 18 months to ensure that his legacy is known for children, for students, and for adults. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Judge Davis's family for their diligence in getting all the old family photos to me to make this a more exciting book of the legacy of his life. And as you look at the pictures, you just get so much inspiration in knowing that we have a man that has done a lot for his community. Judge Davis, I would like to talk to you about your first picture that I received from your niece Alexis, the picture of you graduating. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a picture of me graduating from Dunbar High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. I graduated in 1942. I'm a proud graduate of Dunbar High School, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Thank you, Judge. That is a wonderful picture, and I still see the resemblance there. And our next picture that we have is a picture that was taken in the 1950s. It appears that it's one when you were the first began as a lawyer. Is that correct?
Yes. I was originally licensed in Arkansas on July the 4th, 1949. And this is a picture of me in my early days as a lawyer. I've been out there for a good while, and I'm real proud of that picture. And thank you. I've had a long career.
And we really appreciate that long career you've had because you've impacted, Judge Davis, so many lives in our community.
Well,
our next picture that we have is a picture of Judge Davis, his wife, and his two beautiful daughters. Can you tell us a little bit about this photo, Judge Davis?
Yes, that's a picture of my wife and my two children. We were married in 1955, and we have those two daughters. We were married for 59 years here in Fort Worth, and they were years of delight, and I can say I had a wonderful wife, and I'm proud of the history that she had and the daughters that she gave our family.
What a legacy, Judge Davis, you have left to your daughters, to your nieces, to your nephews, and to all your family members, as well as our community. Not only just the Texas community, but the community throughout the world. We really appreciate it. Now, our next picture, Judge, is a picture of you on the bench. Can you tell us a little bit about that picture?
Yes, I was appointed to judge of Criminal District Court Number 2 in 1983, and I served in a judicial capacity until 2004. I enjoyed the work. I tried to do what I thought was right, and I tried to see to it that there was justice in the courtroom where I presided. That was my commitment to myself, that I was going to leave there every day smoking my cigar because I was determined that I was going to do what I understood the law and what was right and what was good for the community directed that I do. And that's what I followed every day that I was there.
Judge Davis, we certainly appreciate your dedication and your commitment to upholding the law in the right way. And now our next picture is a very exciting picture that I would love for you to talk about. It's about you and Louis Stearns. Give us a little background history about Louis Stearns and you.
Well, Mr. Stearns had graduated from a law school in Kansas, and he had a commitment for military duty, and he came through, and I engaged him in my practice until he got his orders to go to the military. And he served his period in the military and then came back to the office, so that I call him one of my lawyers that I monitored, and I am very, very proud of him because he is one of the outstanding lawyers of this state. Let me just mention something special about him. He has served on 4 separate courts of record in the state of Texas, and I suspect, I don't know, but I suspect that that is a record. 3 district level courts and the Court of Criminal Appeals. And he has been a distinguished member of the judiciary of the state of Texas and continues in that capacity to this day.
Would you say that your mentorship has impacted his life?
I would hope that it has. I tried to instill in him the notion that every lawyer needs to go to court every time prepared, and that everything that a lawyer does, every letter that he writes and every pleading that he signs represents his reputation. And I believe he has followed that as a practice all of his career.
All right, thank you, Judge. Our next picture is a very, very exciting picture of you in your cap and gown. Can you tell us about that picture and where it was taken at?
I'm a proud graduate of Philander Smith College, which is located in Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm an active member of the National Alumni Association, and frequently our national meeting is held at Philander at graduation time so that we can interact with the new graduates to try to get them to participate and be active in the Alumni Association. And this picture was taken at one of the graduation exercises. Those of us who come are privileged, if we care to do so, to get a cap and gown and march in as a group of alumni graduates. And of course, the year that this picture was made, I had a cap and gown with the Alumni Association.
Judge, you are a very remarkable man, a very remarkable citizen of these great United States of America. And I salute you. And it's been such an inspiration to be a part of your life and knowing about your life and putting together a book about your legacy.
Well,
and I just love it, and I just feel so humbled and honored to be a part of it.
Let me say this. I'm a graduate of Howard University Law School, and the law school has a history that the lawyers are social engineers, and we have a responsibility to use the principle and value system to try to make life good for the general welfare of the total population. And I left the law school with that commitment, and I've kept that commitment throughout my years of practice.
Judge, thank you for making that commitment, not only to yourself, but to our community, because you have definitely made a difference and you have made an impact in the lives of so many citizens, both young and both old. And putting together this book is truly a legacy that will live forever and ever. And it's important that it's in written form because we don't want to lose any of its integrity. We want it to be there for generations and generations to read and to be like you, to be a committed citizen and be involved in community service, which you always say every citizen needs to be a part of the community. Lastly, Judge Davis, do you have any words of inspiration that you would like to leave with us today?
Yes, let me mention this. We have for years been hollering about civil rights, and I want us to continue to advocate for civil rights. But I want us to put an emphasis on what I describe as civil responsibility. Every individual has a civil responsibility to work for the general welfare of the total population. You know, the term general welfare is used in our Declaration of Independence, and all of us have a social responsibility, a civic responsibility, a civil responsibility, whichever term you choose to use, to work to make the general welfare of the community better. And I'm committed to that, and I take great pride in the fact that I have committed my life to that in the practice.
I would like to just humbly thank Judge Davis again for allowing me the opportunity to chronicle his life, because it's so important that we have our legacy written down. In the past, it was verbalized, and we lost so much information. But we need to continue to reach out and write about those who are in our community that have made an impact in the lives of the community. And Judge Davis is certainly one of those individuals. The book, I have been working with him for the past 18 months, taping him and just finding out more about who he is as a man. It's the making of a man. It's the life and legacy of Judge L. Clifford Davis. And I'm happy to be a part of that. And I want the community to be a part of it. And they will be a part of it when the book comes out and they can read about him. They can read about his humble beginnings, where he grew up at, how he picked cotton, how he was a farm boy, how he went away on his own with his siblings and went to school while his parents were still on the farm, how responsible he was at age 14, not being with his parents, but being with his siblings, how he went on to graduate from college, and then he went on to go to Howard University and become an esteemed lawyer, and how he served in the military, and then how he worked in Fort Worth and helped the citizens in Fort Worth to gain their civil rights. It's just astonishing to know that a young man would do something like that. And also, we cannot forget, during the turbulent years of the 50s and 60s, the civil rights movement for integration, for desegregation. And he was a part of that in this community. We cannot forget that he was in the forefront of the Mansfield School desegregation case. He was bold. He was brave. He was tenacious. He was not afraid. He stood up for rights. And we have to honor him for that, because he had a family. He had a wife and 2 children that could have been hurt from people that did not like African Americans. But he stood up for what's right. And that's going to be chronicled in the book also. So let's continue to lift up all our citizens in the community that are making a difference, and certainly to Judge Davis, who has made an impact, not only in my life since meeting him and taping interviews with him, but he's made a big difference in so many other lives.
Looking in the mirror, images of me getting much clearer. Dear self, I wrote a letter just to better my soul. If I don't express it, then forever I hold inside. I'm from a side where we gotta control. Rap music and the hood play the fatherly role. My story, like yours, yo, gotta be told. Trying to make it from a gangster to a Galia role. Red scrolls of stone slaves and Jewish people in cold cage. Hate has no color or age. Flip the page. Now my race became freedom. Right dreams in the dark, they far, but I can see them. I believe in heaven more than hell. Blessings more than jail. In the ghetto, let love prevail. With a story to tell. My eyes see the glory and well, the world waiting for me to yell. I have a dream.
I got a dream.
One day.